Greetings and congratulations from Touch History. I, Parvez Kamal, am trying to present the history of America based on true events so that the next generation can know and feel the truth. Today's history is about relationships. Let's watch the video. Imagine a land before the word America even existed. Endless forests, roaming bison, powerful native nations, and a continent alive with stories thousands of years old. This land was not empty. It was a mosaic of peoples, tribes, languages, and civilizations who shaped the soil long before new ships appeared on the horizon. In 1492, the world shifted. European sails rose from the Eastern Sea like ghosts, carrying ambition, curiosity, disease, and destiny. The meeting of two worlds sparked one of the greatest and most tragic transformations in human history. Indigenous nations fought, negotiated, adapted, and resisted, but the wave of colonization was relentless. Out of these early struggles, the foundations of a future empire were being laid. By the 1600s and 1700s, 13 British colonies dotted the Atlantic coast. They were prosperous but restless, constantly clashing with a distant king who taxed them from across the ocean. These colonies were not united. They were a patchwork of cultures, religions, and ambitions. But something unexpected bound them together, the idea that people could rule themselves. Then came 1775, the spark. Farmers, laborers, merchants, and intellectuals rose up in defiance. The American Revolution was not just a war, it was a gamble, a declaration that ordinary people could defy the most powerful empire on earth. Through frozen winters at Valley Forge and desperate battles across the colonies, a new identity formed: American. By 1783, the impossible had happened. A new nation was born. Fragile, experimental, and deeply divided, yet filled with a dream larger than its borders. But the birth of the United States was also built on contradictions: freedom for some, slavery for millions, equality in words, inequality in reality. These contradictions simmered for decades until the nation split in two. 1861, Civil War, North versus South, brother versus brother, the bloodiest conflict in American history. When it ended in 1865, the map was the same, but the country was forever changed. Slavery was abolished, yet the wounds of racism and inequality would echo for generations. As the 1800s closed, America transformed again, this time into an industrial giant. Railroads stitched the continent together. Immigrants from Europe and Asia poured in seeking new lives. Factories roared, cities exploded in size. The United States was no longer an experiment, it was becoming a force. Then came the World Wars. In World War I, America's arrival tipped the balance. In World War II, American factories built the weapons that defeated tyranny, and American soldiers crossed oceans to stand against darkness. When the war ended in 1945, one truth was undeniable: the United States was now a superpower. But power brought new challenges. The Cold War froze the world into two sides: US and Soviet Union. Nuclear tension stalked every moment. Yet this era also saw scientific miracles: the moon landing, the birth of computers, the rise of global culture. Inside its borders, America transformed socially too. Civil rights, women's rights, LGBTQ movements, each demanding the promise of equality be delivered, not just spoken. As the 21st century began, America entered a new age of innovation and conflict. Terrorism, political divisions, economic shifts, technological revolutions. The nation again found itself questioning its direction, its identity, its purpose. And yet, despite chaos, despite crisis, despite conflict, America continues to reinvent itself. That is its defining story. A country built not by one people, but by millions. A nation that has fallen, risen, fractured, united, and reshaped itself over and over again. America's story is not a straight line. It is a fire, sometimes destructive, sometimes illuminating, but always burning forward. And that fire
continues today. If you like this kind of historical storytelling, please subscribe. It's not just information, it's a feeling of knowing the truth. Write your current city and time and your interests in the comments. Thank you.